Never touch my daughter again.
In this episode, June and Maura join a rebel outpost. Serena seeks to regain her reputation as a pregnant widow. Aunt Lydia challenges the rigorous approaches she uses to discipline the handmaids. June begins The Handmaid's Tale Season 5 Episode 3 by attempting to process the stunning revelation that Hannah had appeared on the news. When Maura arrives, they talk about what the purple color she was wearing meant. Unofficially, there is a group of women near the border, and Maura advises they make use of them to communicate with Gilead. The last people June should encounter are these terrified refugees, but the two women continue nevertheless, determined to stand up for Hannah. With a message for a commander, June meets their contact, Lily. She's pleased to do this for June because she was one of the ladies that June exchanged for Fred Waterford. On the verge of no man's land, Lily guides Maura and June out to the woods. The women are wary, and June pauses in front of an American flag that is upside down outside a cabin. They have pin-up boards inside with pictures of people they have saved and people they have lost. In order to undermine the commanders, the women in this place also smuggle arsenic to them. There is still a long way to go. They remark as June grinned. Good. Meanwhile, Lawrence is forced to wait outside when Serena and Mark arrive to meet him. Nick arrives with his wife Rose, and Serena realizes that he is now a commander inside. There is a lot of tension in the room as he presents a gift for Serena's unborn child. At dinner, June Osborne becomes the center of attention. By referring to her as a cancer and a scourge on Gilead, they decide to attempt and eliminate her. Because of the increased protection, Nick changes his mind and opts not to team up with Mark after all. Choosing to remain in Gilead, Serena. She doesn't want to be in Canada and thinks Gilead is where she belongs. Mark is shocked by the entire situation and eventually warns her that remaining is risky, especially since she is single. Just as a messenger confirms that Serena would attend a meeting with the council soon, Mark leaves, defeated. Aunt Lydia visits the hospital to take care of Esther, who is in fact still alive. Despite the fact that her attempt at suicide was failed, Lydia slaps her across the face in her weakened state because she feels deceived. Although Janine is also in the hospital, Lydia kneels down by her bedside and makes a commitment to turn things around with the Lord as retaliation for her previous deeds. She begs God to let Janine get through this. In a truly sweet moment, Mrs. Putnam amusingly appears with Angela to check on Janine as well. So what does Hannah's purple clothing actually mean? It turns out that the Mackenzies are sending her to wife school to prepare her for marriage. When Nick is able to phone June, she finds out everything. He also announces that he now has a wife. Nick tells June they won't be able to talk for a time and asks her to vow to stay safe. Serena meets with the council as scheduled, but Lawrence arrives first and offers his regrets. Serena's future is set as he takes his place among the other council members. She will act as an unofficial global ambassador for Gilead, lending her influence. She won't be given a spot in Gilead, instead, they're sending her to Canada against her will. She is essentially cast out but is provided support in the form of protection and a staff. June arrives at Serena's window like a character from a slasher film as she approaches the bridge leading out of Gilead. Never again touch my kid, please. She gurgles. It's a knife-edge situation, so Serena orders her driver to turn around.